a 30-pound sack, a whole bushel of green peanuts. Gonna boil up some country caviar on Big Lou barbecue.
Iced tea. Hey, it's Big Lou barbecue, and other things I want to do. And I bet you didn't know that Big Lou boils too. Now let me tell you a story. I grew up in East Louisiana, just south and west of Mississippi. All right, and where I grew up, boiled peanuts were staple, especially this time of year. Late summer, early fall, beginning of football season. Near Labor Day, just boiled peanuts were just standard, you know, green peanuts. People sell them out the back of pickup trucks on the side of the road, all right? And circumstances of life brought my young wife and my family over here in 2005 to West Louisiana. That was about 3 weeks before something called Hurricane Katrina hit. And we couldn't get any peanuts that year. What a miserable year that was. Anyway, the next year, good year, because my son was born in October. And in late August and early September, my 8-month pregnant wife said, I want boiled peanuts. I said, I'm gonna get you some peanuts. And I called all the produce stands and nobody had green peanuts. They're like, just people don't eat them over here. Okay, I've told a lot of people eat boiled peanuts and they just kind of turn their nose up at me. Some people are polite, some people, you know, look at me kind of funny. I thought I was a weird one. But my wife wanted boiled peanuts that year, so I drove all the way back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, picked up a sack of boiled peanuts, drove it back, and boiled them up. I've been doing that every year, at least one sack a year, but usually it's 2 or 3. And circumstances brought me to Picayune, Mississippi this past weekend. Yeah, you bet. I picked up a sack of green peanuts, and we're gonna boil up some country caviar, all right? I do it every year, and I put them up in a quart-sized freezer bag, stick them in my freezer. On Sunday mornings, I pull one out before church, set it on the counter, let it defrost, come home from church, pop it in the microwave for about 5 minutes, watch the Saints lose. Maybe they'll win this year, I don't know. Anyway, college football on Saturday afternoons, do the same thing, eat boiled peanuts. I always save 1 bag for a college bowl game to watch, all right? And in the spring, I'll boil raw peanuts. Those are dried. And you got to kind of rehydrate those. Those are never quite as good as the green ones. The green ones are the best. And I'm kind of traditional. I like just salt. Sometimes I hear people talk about Cajun boiled peanuts and putting all kind of spices and herbs and everything in it. You don't need to do that. Salt enhances the beautiful flavor of peanuts just fine, and salted peanuts are just fine. Now, if you want to put a lot of stuff in it, you can, but it's a lot of extra trouble, extra expense, and you're gonna get good peanuts. 2 boxes of salt, 30-pound sack of peanuts. Boil them for 2 hours, cut them off, let them soak for 2 hours, and they're perfect if you're using green peanuts. If you're using raw peanuts or the dried kind, you may need to boil them a good bit longer. Sometimes I've gone 4, maybe even 6 hours boiling dried ones. But green ones, 2 hours, 2 hours soak, 4 hours, and you got these things. Maybe you can hear the propane burner going over there. It's just about to come up to a boil. Let me mention that. You put them in, you bring the water up to a boil, then you start timing your 2 hours. And it could take 30 to 35 minutes to get a big 100-quart stock pot full of water up to a boil. So it's going to take longer than just 4 straight hours because you got to bring the water up to a boil. But anyway, it's not that hard to do. Let me show you how I do it. Love boiled peanuts. Big Lou barbecue. Got the propane tank hooked up. Big boiling pot, 100-quart boiling pot, and that old jet burner. I've had that thing about 20 years, and we're gonna boil the peanuts right there on it. All right, I got water in here, and I gotta wash these first. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 washings. I usually wash at least twice, and I just get down in here with this bat and mix them all up in the water and turn them like this. And get them rotating through the water. And mix them up and rinse them real well. Pull them out, dump the dirty water, and do it at least 1 more time. These look fairly clean. They're not the cleanest peanuts I've ever seen, but they're not the dirtiest either. Okay, you see how muddy the water is? Dang love bugs. And we're gonna dump this water out, and I'm gonna do it 2 more times. Big Lou barbecue.
Okay, here's the second rinsing. Put these down there like that. Get them in there, and I get them kind of spinning and turning again, just like I did before. And as you can see, the water's a little bit clear, but still a little got that tip to it. One more rinsing and we should be fine. All right, Big Lou barbecue. Third rinsing, right here. And we'll do the same thing. Just kind of turn around. And the other way.
All right, now the water still has that green tint, but it's not as muddy as it was before. So that's about as good as they're gonna get. And we'll fill it one more time, light the fire, get these things a boiling. All right, well, I got the pot filled back up, and this is the cooking water. So what we're gonna do is just take 2 boxes of salt. Get out of there. Don't want the paper in there. 2 boxes of salt. 1. Just this kind of knife. Always cut a box open when I was a kid for crawfish, peanuts, whatever we were cooking like this. Just kind of tradition for cutting salt open. All right. I'll put peanuts in here. Set the lid on it. Light the fire. Bring it to a boil. See, they don't want to sink down now that salt's in there. Bring it to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, we're gonna boil for 2 hours. 2 hours, and then we're gonna turn them off and let them soak for 2 hours. It's gonna take about 30 to 45 minutes to come up to a boil. Big Lou barbecue. Woo, that's hot, man! All right, you see these have come up to a boil, so I'm gonna back the gas down just a little bit. We're gonna stir them. I'm gonna start timing 2 hours from right now. And I'm gonna stir them every half hour or so. And we're gonna turn them off in 2 hours. And then I'm gonna continue to stir them every half hour, but we're gonna let them soak for 2 hours. All right, 4 hours total from this point right here. Big Lou barbecue. These peanuts are going to be good, y'all. Okay, these have been boiling about 2 hours. Set this pot down, the lid over here. These have been boiling about 2 hours. And what I want to do, every 30 minutes I've come out here and tried to get the ones on bottom to the top and the ones on top to the bottom. All right? A lot of the water has steamed off. That's okay, as long as we keep them wet. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn them off here and let them soak in this hot water for 2 more hours. That'll be dark by the time they're done, but I'll have some lantern lights out here when we pull them out. And every 30 minutes or so during this soak, I'm gonna stir them. So, anyway, it's about time to go ahead and cut them off, and I'm gonna continue to stir them just like this. Main thing with stirring them, get down. You can see they're getting soft. You see some of them are breaking apart. See that right there? They've gotten soft, but they need to soak up that salt flavor. They don't have any flavor until they soak for a couple hours. Anyway, it's time to go ahead and cut them down. 2 hours. Big Lou barbecue. We'll be back. We'll pour them up in the cooler. We'll eat some, put some in bags, and stick them in the freezer. All right, it's about 9:30 at night, and these peanuts have been soaking for 2 hours. And I've been stirring them up with this peanut paddle. It's actually a masa bat I bought in Mexico for about 60 pesos, which is about $3.80 or so. Anyway, I've been stirring them every half hour or so while they've been soaking and while they were cooking. I turned them off around 7:30. It's now about 9:30. I'm gonna put up a bowl of these, eat some tonight, share some with the family. Gonna put the rest up in quart-sized bags in the freezer. And I have a few friends that like boiled peanuts around here. I'm gonna give them a few quarts of them as well. Anyway, Hannah, go ahead and try one. You got it? It's hot, darling.
It is. It's hot.
It's hot? Are they good?
They're delicious.
Oh, country caviar, boiled peanuts. Look, if you're telling somebody to try boiled peanuts, you're introducing them to the first time, they've never heard of boiled peanuts, tell them, look, they're gonna be mushy, all right? It's like the pea. When you boil them, they're like the pea. When you roast them, they're crunchy like the nut. So, anyway, they're gonna be mushy, but they're delicious. Get you some paper towels, eat a bunch of them.
I miss these so much.
Sodium peels right here, boy. Oh gosh, country caviar. You can't eat just one. You cannot eat just one. I gotta pour these up. Should we take these into Mama?
No.
No?
No.
You can sit out here and eat this whole pot tonight. Wow. You think your brother wants some?
Absolutely not.
Huh?
Absolutely
You shining that
not.
on me, baby?
Yeah?
Yeah, all right. Boiled peanuts, y'all. We'll pour them up, take them inside and enjoy them. That's all there is to it, guys. 2 hours cooking, 2 hours soaking after you get them to the boil, and all you need is 2 boxes of salt. 2 boxes of salt, 2 hours boiling time, 2 hours soaking time. Perfect. Green peanuts. Big Blue Barbecue.